For joining in. Let's just wind down the day's trading action. As we said, the Nifty ends with minor gains today. The Bank Nifty is the one that actually will go home with about 330 points in terms of gains. The FMCG stocks have gained a bit of ground today as well. So Tata Consumer, Britannia, Nestle will all end in the green. The Adani Group stocks saw some gains today. So Adani Enterprises, Adani Ports up almost 2 to 2.5%. But on the downside, auto stocks, Bajaj Auto, Eicher Motors are under pressure, while hospital stocks are under pressure as well. So Apollo Hospitals was the one that was down almost about 5%. But largely it was a good day of trade. I mean, by the end, the Nifty goes home with 100-point gain. So recovering a bit of what it lost, in the last couple of days. And the midcap index also up about 350 odd points. So the surge actually came in late trade. It was, flying away to the finish.
Well, indeed, Sonia, it was could be an expiry-related factor as well that played out. The bears were feeling very, very confident in the morning, and they've got stuck on the wrong side. So the bears, in fact, they actually got taken to the cleaners by the end of it. And for the series, actually, things looked very, very good. For the Nifty, it was up close to around 700 points. So that's the kind of rally that we've seen on the Nifty. 700 points in a single series. At the start of the series, people were fearful that, well, this market is net short. But we did see that, there was a big recovery out there, and that index did well. On the Nifty Bank, it was up close to around 1,400 points for the series itself. So massive, massive moves is what we have seen on this. And that, the historical evidence continues to hold. If the FIs are net short, you go to buy the Nifty and you'll make some money. It played out, I think, in November. It played out in April as well. And it plays out in February. So good up move is what we're seeing. A few stocks though did very, very well from the broader market. Just pull up some of these names. Infibeam was up close to around 10% in trade today. HCC as well did come back in style. So a big up move is what we saw on HCC in today's trading session. Volumes as well were extremely high on that stock. And you had Hindustan Copper, that was another stock that did come back in trade. NMDC, add to the list. So I'm talking about the top volume movers in trade today. On the flip side, actually, RVNL was a stock that did lose out. So that stock was down by close to around 6.5% in today's trading session. Amrish is still with us. Amrish, let's try to squeeze in a last couple of questions before we let you go. Any view on some of these smaller names that moved today? Infibeam, HCC, Suzlon. They were under pressure in the morning, but they came back in style. And that's, some of these stocks, they had gone down to pennies and then they have recovered big time.
Infibeam, I'm really still not sure of their business model, so I wouldn't recommend Infibeam at any price. When it comes to HCC and Suzlon, I think both of them have actually, come up from the ashes. And if you look at the order flows for both of them, we keep hearing of order flows, every other week or every other fortnight. So Suzlon also has corrected well from those levels which we had seen recently, 50+ levels. So at the current levels, I think one could look at buying it with a target price of about 60. Even HCC, it has stabilized at these levels decently well. Should move to levels of about 58-60 over the next 6 to 8 months.
Okay, thanks a lot, Amrish, for joining in and giving us your view on a whole host of stocks. We appreciate you joining in and giving us a couple of stock ideas as well. Well, curtains down then on the markets. Almost a century on the Nifty. Who would have thought? You were fearing today when the markets opened up with a cut. The Nifty Bank, it recovers big time. It conquers the 20-day MA on a closing basis. And the mid-cap index as well. By the end of it, more number of stocks advancing in comparison to the number of stocks that were declining. At the start of trade, remember, you only had around 400 stocks that were advancing. That number has recovered to around 1,250 shares, 50 shares advancing today. So the bulls will feel good. They wound down a good series and they ended on top. Well, for the time being, though, we'll have to wrap up on this edition of Closing Bell. But you don't go anywhere. Markets Forward comes up next.